Sorry, that was gross. I want to make sure I can talk good. Today, I am feeling like doing a little podcast. Hopefully you can see me. We're nice and comfy in our own bed, and today we're going to be talking about childhood trauma. All of my content is made for like the mentally unstable, the ones with a shit ton of childhood trauma, the damaged girlies, the feral girlies, and so yeah, what a perfect introduction, what a perfect topic for my first podcast, than childhood trauma. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things to talk about, and dang, I feel really powerful with this mic. And hopefully the audio sounds really good. The audio did not even record, so the microphone is basically just a prop. I'm so sorry about the echo. I'm so sorry, but next podcast will be better, I promise. Love you. How do we even begin on this topic? I just feel like one of the biggest things that I like to talk about or whatever with childhood trauma is the after effects of it. How you perform as an adult in the real world. Obviously it's like very altered because of whatever happened to you as a child, and yeah, things can get messy, and like when you get into relationships or when you're just trying to be an adult for the first time, it seems like that's when all of the trauma wants to resurface and cause havoc, is in your early 20s. For me, I don't know. I had really bad social anxiety. I don't know. After my childhood trauma, I found it hard to connect with people and even talk to them or let anyone in. I remember that I had lost 2 of my best friends in high school, and after my trauma, I just remember I like shut everyone out, and that's my cat. Hold on. It's really hard to climb into this bed without like knocking my whole setup over. We did it. Okay. Anyway, after I lost 2 of my best friends, I like completely shut the world out. I had no friends. Like, I really thought that was the best plan of action after I lost all my friends, was to just shut everyone out. And I mean, it's safe. I guess I get why I did it. But Kitty, go to the other door. I don't know, I always seem to like shut people out, and it's so funny because it's like, if I could say the thing that I was craving most in the world, it would be like fulfilling relationships and love and friendships and family, but I just tend to like shut myself out and isolate. And also, with my social anxiety, I like convince myself that I am the most undesirable, boring, unfortunate person on the planet. I really do. And then I'm like, no wonder you have no friends, and duh, no one wants to talk to you. Like, look at yourself. So yeah, my social anxiety convinced me of that, and then I don't interact with people because I'm like, I'm doing them a service. I'm doing a service to the community by not allowing myself to be myself, to exist to my fullest potential or anything. And I kind of touched on this in my other video. It's really hard to be yourself, and I feel like that kind of connects together, those two ideas. Maybe I'm like too all over the place to actually have a podcast. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I don't even make any sense because my ideas and words are all jumbled. I don't know. Hopefully this all comes out good with the power of editing. I can fix it. I feel like on the internet I come out off as like such a blabbermouth, but actually I'm like really quiet in real life. If you met me in real life, I would not be myself. And that's really sad, but yeah, that's how it is. It takes me so long to let anyone in that, like, I'm so surprised that anyone even like sticks around to wait for me to show them my true self, reveal my personality. Because it takes so damn long. Like, I don't blame anyone for not wanting to get to know me. I like to think of myself as a wallflower. Like, kind of quiet and to the side, but once you get to know them, they have like some of the richest, most rewarding personality ever for like the people who get to know them. I hope that's what it's like for me, like at least if it took long enough to finally get close to me, at least I'm worth it, maybe? I don't know. I hate that trauma dumping is a bad thing, and I understand why it's a bad thing, and I would never intentionally trauma dump on someone, but I love to trauma dump, especially on like my friends and stuff. I resist it. I never do, but I love to do it. My poor boyfriend, he's probably the person that I trauma dump the most, but I mean, isn't that what they're there for? Anyways, I love to trauma dump because I feel like it's just a huge explanation as to like to me. Like, I feel like when you meet me, I just come up, when you meet me, I just lead to you having a bunch of questions about me as to like what is wrong with me. Like, why is she so quiet? Why is she so reserved? Or like, no. Okay. Oh, my whole setup is messed up now. Anyway. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, trauma dumping. But I like don't even mind being trauma dumped on. Just because, I mean, I do sometimes. It depends on the person, but if we're like friends, I really don't mind. I want you to know. I want to know your childhood trauma. I mean, I don't pick friends that don't have childhood trauma. That's impossible. I don't attract those kinds of people. I don't attract healthy people. I don't attract mentally stable people. I don't attract people with good childhoods. There we go. I want to know. I would love to be trauma dumped on if I actually care about you. I guess it's hard to discern whether someone cares about you enough. When someone cares about you enough to trauma dump, because what if they don't and you don't know that? Or I don't know, what if they're not equipped to handle it? Especially, I'm very careful who I trauma dump on, because I mean, you never know who doesn't have childhood trauma. And then they're like, or even if they do have childhood trauma, it could be something that's, I don't want to say not as big, but it just isn't like yours. Because yours is like really, really bad. Not that theirs isn't bad, but it's like, I mean, childhood trauma is incomparable, but I feel like you get what I'm trying to say if you get it. Oh, I wish I could like stop the audio recording and then go back and listen to myself so I could see what I was talking about, so I could continue what I was saying. Whenever you are trying, or I'm very careful who I trauma dump on, because you never know who doesn't have enough childhood trauma or the right kind of childhood trauma to understand or to be able to handle that. So then they just look at you like with that look like, oh my god, you're fucked up. And you're like, okay, well, I didn't need this from you. Yeah. That happens to me actually quite a lot. I guess I'm not that careful with it. If you feel like you don't have enough childhood trauma or whatever to be here, that is not what I'm trying to do. Like, I am really just trying to make it a safe place for people with childhood trauma. Because, I don't know, this is a safe dumping ground, you know? You can dump your childhood trauma here, no matter how big, no matter how small. And maybe someone will read it, maybe someone won't. I probably will. It's not like I have that many subscribers. So I'll listen. Do you want to know my childhood trauma? I don't want to get into that. I already got into a big one on it's really hard to be yourself video, so if you want the tea, you can go there. But I had really weirdly strict parents in a kind of abusive way. I was SA'd. I got into a few car wrecks. I've been arrested. I've done a lot of drugs. I always forget about it. I don't forget about it. I wish I could, but when I'm listing them, they never come up all the way. I mean, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But I don't have my list memorized of everything that I've been through. I know some people do, and I feel like I should have it memorized because I get into it so much, but I don't. There's been physical abuse, mostly emotional. So I don't have the worst trauma in the world, but it's definitely not fixable in a year's worth of counseling. So yeah, if you're comfortable and you feel like trauma dumping, then you can in the comments. Other ways that childhood trauma has affected me in my adult life is I feel like I am crazy in relationships, and that's just where I feel like it comes up the most, is in romantic relationships in your early 20s. Is when childhood trauma starts to resurface the most. And then there's like the people who you can tell have not like even delved into anything about their past, and it's just consuming them. But isn't it consuming us all? I mean, aren't we all that person who's just trying to find their way in the world and is like messing up? That reminds me of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. There's this part in the book that really, like, I related to a lot, because I think about this a lot, but just in case you haven't read or seen or read, because I think it's just in the book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower is the main character's sister's boyfriend like hits her, and then he's at the mall and he's watching this little boy eat french fries with his mom, and the mom, after this mom had lost this kid and found him again, because she's a bad mom and she doesn't pay attention to her kid, and she kind of just gives him whatever he wants, like that kind of mom, like doesn't pay attention, isn't engaged with their child. And anyway, they just went to eat french fries after she lost her kid in the mall. And the quote was like, I hate that that little boy is gonna grow up and hit my sister, or something like that. And obviously he didn't mean that literally, but just the fact that we're all just hurt children who are gonna grow up and hurt other people in relationships. It's just weird.